Hi guys, Kelly Gorsuch coming to you from Immortal Beloved here. We're going to do a haircut today on Amy. She's got like a couple inches past clavicle here with her length. She's got a little forward graduation. It's a little grown out. It's a little heavy for my taste. Her bangs are a little long, so we're going to kind of reshape the whole front of the haircut, forward graduation, bangs. And then we're going to move into some layering, a little light layering wet, and then I'm going to do most of it dry with some different techniques. So let's, I'll show you the back of her haircut, and then we'll get started. All right, so we just saturated her hair with a little Aranco motorcycle, just a flex gel. I'm going to part her hair here on the left because that's where she wears that shit, so I'm not going to get weird and part it down the center. I've kind of already worked that motorcycle through and saturated it really well. I'm going to just kind of make sure that her hair is pushed into that direction it's going to grow. It's just something I do. I like to look at the way the shape is building while I'm cutting, which is why I work with the gel in the hair. Also, so I don't have to saturate it again right before I blow dry, because I work on a schedule. So we're just going to do our one length first, so you're probably going to have to come. All right, let's do it. So look down slightly. This first section, I have to give myself, I parted the section a little higher to give myself a little more hair just so I can see her line because her density is not as strong. It really doesn't matter. You're really looking to be able to see your density all the way across, all the way around the bottom. I don't want to, no use doing a haircut if I've only got 3 hairs in my hand. So just working that down, lines and sections straight there. A little too much coffee this one. So the main thing is my blade needs to go straight in and not at an angle. It needs to be a slight angle, almost straight in. And that's going to allow me to get some softness in the line without getting just a secondary weight line. Now I can bring her head back up to natural fall, or the way she naturally wears it, and her hair to natural fall. And then drop the rest because I know with her current layering pattern, there's not a lot of hair left there to cut on the length. So something that's kind of interesting that I can talk about, there's not a lot to talk about here, but I'm using the tension of my comb to stay natural fall the whole way down, and then I just put my hands in and hold it. You know, it comes second nature to me now, but the idea of putting your comb square in like that and trying to come down and make everything the same tension is just so ludicrous to me. So if I just turn my comb down once I'm past their head, it'll give me the same tension all the way to the bottom until I can hold it. And then all I need to do is check my balance. So now I'm just going to bring that hair from that square line back to the front at natural fall over her shoulders, down, and you're always going to see just a little pinch forward. Now, she doesn't have a lot of density there, so as I came through, I chose to keep my cut a little more blunt, just a tad more blunt, still breaking into it. but she's already going to have enough separation by not having a huge amount of density there, especially not as much density as she has in the back. So I just have to take all that into account. And then repeat the process on the other side. Like every hair cutting video from like 1995 right there. Alright, so now I'm just working up into her bang, which is going to give me a visual guide to where I'm going to start her for graduation. Just sectioning her bang area off here, and I'm just going to lightly dust that one, come over here. So you see how heavy that is? The other one was already pretty far up, so I'm going to, and I just shaped it, the length of it was good, and I'm going to start a little shorter on this side and kind of work it in. And you see that shape. What I'm trying to do is go a little steeper at the beginning, square off a little bit, still with a little steepness, and then really carve out into the forward graduation, and that's how I'm going to join my bangs with my forward graduation. With her, normally I might take some sections if there's like a tremendous amount of density, but in this case I would just add to like more mistakes. So I'm just really going to connect from her bang to the like middle, I'd say, of her forward graduation. Elevating out slightly for softness. I don't want it to be like super blunt with her hair texture. And I'm just gonna keep going back over this until I get the shape that I want, which is basically what I want to do is take this line straighter down so she doesn't get this so she doesn't get those fingers coming in towards her fade, like the Friends haircut in the mid-90s. We don't want that. We don't want Friends haircut.
The Rachel.
We don't want the we don't want the Rachel anymore. Not that you're in any danger because, you know, now the style is so different.
Yeah.
So this side I'm just having to take off a little weight on the top. There wasn't a need to connect down to the middle. I'm just taking off the weight on the top of that. And it's just a visual feel for me. Just gonna touch the top of this bang here for a second. And what I want here is, I want this bang on this side to be right where the connection is on the bang on this side. So my balance is balanced here and not up here to here. Alright, that gets into some really weird shapes. That's why we don't cut center parts. Alright, because of her density, I'm going to work with an inversion here. A little graduated inversion, so I'm going to leave the strength of her exterior line, and I'm just going to work this line up, just graduating it up as I come up. And this is more visual than anything else. I really, as I'm working up, I'm trying to choose where I want that layering pattern to start. And I really want it to start high, keeping as much weight down at the bottom as possible, and that's why that graduated inversion works so well. So now, I'm just going to take the entire side. Now usually I do this in about 3 sections, or 2 sections at least, and with this I'm going to do it in 1 because of our density. So what I'm trying to do is comb down to natural fall and then come over to my inversion. And that's just going to use that head to keep that entry point of the layering pattern a little longer towards the sides. And I'll explain to you what that means here in a second. So what's going to happen is if I'm using the head to twist around, it's going to allow this stuff to be longer as I come over. If I pull it straight to that cut point, it's going to be another square line coming through. And what I don't want is a square line. I want that line to really bend down to the end, as you see it has. And so it keeps my density a little less in the center and a little more towards the front of the haircut. Now I'm going to repeat that process on the left side.
You ever say,
and on this one, it's going to be basically one cut here, one diagonal forward. I'm going to leave out all of the forward graduation there because I don't really want to take a chance of going into it. I know I'm not going to, but you know, for you at home, don't take a chance. So the same thing, I'm using that head to comb down and over to it, and then kind of holding it out. And the same thing on this side. I want my density, so I'm going to take out my length, and I really, really want to get as high as possible here. I won't be able to get high enough with the connection, so I will shorten this a little bit more dry with the dry cut. But I know I'm going to do that, so I want to keep myself a good base, and I definitely want to make sure that my density is there on the exterior line for when I need it. So now I'm just going to work into this strong side. I'm just same thing, taking out that forward graduation line, and now you see this is actually length. It really should be to about there. I shouldn't be using so much of this as length, but I'm going to because of her previous haircut. That's her bang in the forward graduation there, and then this is just the meat of the layering here on the strong side. And then the same thing. I'm really going to keep that hair on the bottom exterior line and layer down into the top. So that's really all I'm trying to do. On the strong side, the bulk of my layering on this particular haircut is going to be done inside that little triangle. So that's going to layer the whole side. Alright, so this is basically the shape. Right here is going to be a little heavy. I know that's going to be a conflict area when I get to the end of the haircut, so I'm really going to pay attention to that dry and cut out all of that weight. And what that's going to do is it'll allow that to kick over, because otherwise it's just going to be like a heavy thing flopping in her face. So we'll take out that weight, allow it to sit back. I'll take out that weight above the connection, and that will also allow the bang to connect better with the forward graduation. So I'm going to go ahead and dry her off, and then we will proceed with the dry cut. Just kind of like quickly dried this off with a cushion brush and then a little hand drying just to give a little life and texture back to it. So I'm just gonna do some dry cutting here. Just taking the dye on the back. I see that there's like not a lot of hair in that recession, so I'm gonna be aware of that. And I just wanna add some separation to this. I don't want to thin her hair out. I just want to add some separation. I do want to thin the very beginning of this out, so it kicks over better. A little meaty right there, so I slice a little more hair out. And you see, like right away, it's going to start tucking over a little better. Back up, bro. Can you get her pores from that?
Please don't.
Just kidding. Alright.
So no joke.
Another section behind. Now I'm watching my natural fall, and that's going to tuck right in behind that. Now I can be a little bit more aggressive on this one. I'm really just going to be more aggressive on the spots that have more weight too. I'm not just going to go through and thin those sections. I really want to like break up where it's heavy. And then one with both sections right here at the back, just to really take the weight out of this one little spot here, so it'll blend out nicely coming through to the sides. front of this doesn't have a lot of hair, so I'm just gonna take out some weight on top of it. You know, I chose not to slice through the exterior basically of that bang. Now I'm just gonna shape it visually, so I know I want just like a small kickback here on that. All right, and because her hair is so loose and light down through the perimeter, I'm not really gonna go through and just slice through that for graduation like I normally would. I'm really just going to start attacking the layering pattern from here because I like the exterior line, I like what it's doing, and I don't want to thin it out any more than it already is. So, and I like the density. So that's my choice, and I'm sticking to it. I'm just going to release a little weight right here at the top. You see what I'm going through? I'm going for separation to like allow some negative space to push that hair around and kit. And if it's too heavy at the top, I can thin down the spot if I want. See? Yeah. Really just kind of working on the very top of that layering entry point and just releasing that weight and getting some movement. So from the side, I'm just going to basically bring that shape up a little bit and get more movement when I'm shaking it. Just don't want anything to fall flat here. She seems to be smiling, so I think we're okay.
It's like magical watching you do all the little...
I get that all the time. And so this is a feeling. When I'm going through it, sometimes I'm taking more hair and sometimes I'm taking less hair. But it's really like, it's really a feeling. I'm seeing it visually where I like weight, where I want to get rid of weight and that sort of thing as I'm pushing it around. So I'm constantly using the most important tool I have, and that's my eye, followed closely by my brain.
I'll just sleep like sitting up like this so that it stays.
For sure. Just let it get dirty.
Yeah.
That's all I'm doing really, is dirtying it up. Alright, stand up, I'm gonna kind of play with it a little bit.
Alright.
So this is Amy's haircut, which is kind of a bread and butter haircut that we do in the salon all the time. I had some tweaks here and there, like usually the thing is like much more textured, but her hair had so much texture already, we just kind of like brought it up higher, a little bit more vertical with the texture, and kind of kept what she already had. It was enough texture for me. I didn't really want to slice through that and take away that weight. I thought it gave it like a nice strength. But really opening up her bangs, really opening up her forward graduation to make sense with all of that texture, I think really elevated this haircut. And this is it. I hope you like it. And if you don't, I don't give a fuck.
Nice end note, right?